If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 502, Still Got Game's official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
And we're well on our way to episode 1000, Selden. We're
Woohoo!
Every small step adds up to this, so we're cranking through. Before you know it, we're going to be at 1,000. So
catching up on hits total shows. That's all. Chip it away.
So it's obviously just Selden and I this week, but we are back and we're here with a fresh new episode. So we'll try to treat you right. Before we jump into the show proper, I just want to remind you guys we're in the middle of a host search right now. If you think you have what it takes, 773-527-2961, podcast@tooltoplay.com. Let us know why you think you can make a great host, and if you're so inclined, send a little extra material along with it so we can actually judge you. It's not an official contest. We could leave this with no new host, but we are opening it up to the super fans. So
you will be judged and deemed worthy or not.
Yes. All right. On that, if you're in chat right now and you want to talk about something on the show, drop it in chat. Otherwise, we're hopping on over to the mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. True Dr. Post asks, thanks for answering my question about applying to be a host. I'm going to work on a video demo and send it in. I guess that was more of a comments than an ask, but yes. True Dr. Post, yeah. Show us what you got, buddy.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait to sit around and parse these, but
there is a chance one of us will shit on you.
There could be some clips included on the show. Who knows? But I know you commented on this a few days ago. I still haven't received this yet, so maybe maybe that was a drunken stupor comment, and then you're rethinking it. But if not, definitely submit, and we will judge you severely.
One of us will be nice to you, I'm sure.
Good cop, bad cop. Selden's never the bad cop. All right, next up, Janlock89 comments. Your PAX East coverage was great. Not overly detailed like your old E3 recaps, but a perfect length. I'd like to say the old E3 recaps were the perfect length, but
like 7 hours of E3 recap.
Those were, you got your money's worth. And for a free show, that's incredible. But
yeah, no, I mean the E3 coverage was good. I mean, there was there wasn't a super amount of show to go over, so I mean, you just covered what you liked and everything like that. So I think you guys did a great job on it, and I can't wait to have Tiff back again to bring the level of the show back up.
Well, thanks, Selden. I'm glad that you see a gap in our skills, but we will get Tiff back at some point. All right, and then last, but not last, no, because we have Altius last. Next up, Slam Diamond comments. I'm new to your show, and my first episode was number 500. Really enjoying it so far. Thanks.
Wow. All right, you have a mission. You have 500 or 499 other shows you have to go through still.
Yeah, I get. I don't know. I don't even know how you discover us at 500, unless our social media hype was so strong for episode 500 that it sucked someone in. But
yeah. Or maybe the cross promotion metrics kicked in for
Common Man Cocktails.
Common Man Cocktails coming over. So somehow we kicked the metrics in.
Yeah, Slam Diamond, let us know how you found the show after 500 episodes that you didn't find it. 499. it's an interesting thing. So yeah, definitely let us know.
But welcome aboard.
Yes, absolutely. And last but certainly not least, Altius asks, what are your thoughts on the cancellation of E3? Do you think it will ever return? And we will cover this in the news section, Altius. I'm sorry. You asked such an obvious question that you had to know there would be a news story for this. Had to. But we will get to this in a little bit. This is your punishment for asking a common question.
Here's a softball.
Yep. Now you got to wait for the response. So if any of you have great questions like True Dr. Post, Janlock89, or Slam Diamond, or common softball questions like Altius, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@twiltplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over on what we're playing? Sultan, what are you playing this week that's good?
What's good is COD DMZ, man. I'm still loving
that, huh?
Still loving the DMZ, man. I think it's the best mode of COD that they have out. Really, I do. It's really, they're doing a really good job. I can't wait for season 3 to drop in about 8-9 days, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that entails, the changes they bring in, and everything along that lines. I finished the season pass for, season 2, so I unlocked all the goodies. So I got my in-game bucks ready to buy the next season pass, so I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Other than that, we talked about this probably 5-6 shows ago. The Persona games that were the P5 games that were put on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And, it's been sitting there. I've been looking at it. I'm like, these games are so popular with so many people. I'm like, I really got to figure out what it is about these games. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to dedicate myself. I'm going to give it like 3-4 hours to see what this game's about. I fucking hate it.
Finally, a game you hate.
It is
finally.
It is just boring as shit. I'm like, it is 99% reading storyline, cutscenes. There is little to no actual gameplay actually goes on in this.
Oh, nice.
It's not even as good as the old Commodore 64, like Wild Wild West, where you pick the dialogue boxes to progress the story.
No, yep.
It doesn't make a difference what the hell you say to these people. It's the story is just
through.
So linear, it pushes through, and the gameplay is boring and dull. I'm like, I really don't get how people like these games. I'm sorry, but if somebody out there likes these Persona games, let me know. I mean, because I would rather go stick my hand in a fucking chainsaw than play this anymore. Really?
Wow, we finally found the game that broke Sultan.
You finally found a game genre that I just don't get, and I don't want to play.
He'll play anything. He's like the Mikey of serials when it comes to video games. He'll play anything. But we finally found the breaking point. So this is good, Sultan. At least we know there's a limit.
Yes. So the P5 games or P whatever they are, they're out. Yep. They're done. Yeah. That's a dead genre for me.
Good to hear. I'm glad that we finally broke you. But, yes.
All right. Now, what about you, Derek? What have you been playing?
I've been playing some Vampire Survivors, as always, and playing some Fall Guys with very different groups of people. Sometimes we play as a family. Sometimes I play with Mr. GMS. So it's just a good way to shoot the shit, have a good time, and still play a video game at the same time. So I'm digging it. But...
Nice.
All right. On that, why don't we hop on over into the new releases? First new release out this week is EA Sports PGA Tour, out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the PC. This is off of like I'd like to say 7 or 8 year hiatus. I'm glad it's back. And for those of us with Game Pass Ultimate, we get a 10-hour free trial come this Friday when it comes out. So I'm excited for something that isn't the same old golf game every year. So,
yeah, I'm definitely going to pick this up. Definitely the 10-hour one. I'll probably end up buying the game. Just because it's, golf games. I'm a sucker for golf games. Yep. I'll buy them all the time. It's just,
they're very social.
They're very social. They're very chill.
Yep.
And a lot of fun. So it's just funny seeing, because isn't EA PGA Tour, wasn't that the Tiger Woods franchise that his
It
name was
was
always slapped on?
way back when
Yeah,
the last Tiger Woods game. Yes, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's kind of interesting because like even the cover of the splash for the game doesn't have a golfer on it. Like
Yep.
they're not
Nope.
pushing any independent
Nope.
golfers or anything like that on this. So
nope. This one's all about the Masters. That's all
yeah,
they pimp on the cover of this one. So,
yeah.
I'm excited for it. And if I do like it in my 10-hour trial, then you get some discount on games that are part of the EA. Is it called EA Play now? Not EA Access anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's EA All Access anymore. I think it's
Yeah.
EA Play or whatever.
Yeah. So whatever it is, like there's some discount if you decide to buy it. So I'm hoping I like it and I'm hoping I buy it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it'll be interesting to see if I don't know if you follow the golf scene at all, but they have the alternate league, the LIV.
The LIV. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I want to see who pushes that title out next. Who's going to be the first to push out a LIV golf game?
I'm not one of these pussholes. I watch the LIV like it's going out of style. That's a better format, a better broadcast version. It's nonstop. They start with the shotgun, so like there's literally no downtime. And from the golfers that play it, they seem to like it better too. They don't wake up in the morning and have to wait like 4 hours for their tee time. Everybody's out there. Everybody's the same time. Nobody has to get up too early. And they're constantly flipping back and forth between action. It's almost like watching NFL Red Zone, but with golf. So it's just too bad the PGA took such a hard ass stance on it. There can be more than one. Like, look, we have the NFL and we have the USFL. Those games start not this. I know they do start this coming weekend, and I think New York has a team, one of the 8.
Yeah, I think so.
You're not going to watch it?
No.
Wow, look at you
the
turning
NFL
your nose like the LIV.
It's the NFL or it's college. That's it. Mostly college. But no, like that's
college is the trash one. This new USFL is a step above that just by the nature of it.
Yeah, but you look at it, you don't have a guy that's playing in the NFL and the USFL in the same year, right?
No.
So that's you can kind of see where PGA is limiting. You can't jump back and forth between the two leagues and stuff like that. So
they should have allowed it. But
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, going back to the rule, like the shotgun start is something that I always thought the PGA should do because there's definitely an advantage to starting early in a day and late because the greens change and you know the play gets better as the warmer weather hits and instead of the cold mornings and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean the LIV's got some things that I definitely like about their league. So that's what I'd be interesting to see if somebody puts out a video game of the LIV format.
I'd like to see it. So. All right, the other new release out this week is Meet Your Maker. This is also out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC. This is weird. This is a first-person shooter, but it's also a base builder. So, kind of like Fortnite, but not in real time. You go ahead and you build your fortress and base beforehand, and then first-person shooting ensues. Could be cool, could be weird, could be not. It's not for me.
Is this a free-to-play battle royale type game, or is this like an actual retail title?
This is an actual retail title, yeah. I know, you just want freebies.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it, so as of right now, I'm gonna pass. Give it a little bit, see if it picks up steam. So,
all right, fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up the new releases. Like I said earlier, if you're in chat right now, drop something in there if you want us to talk about it. Otherwise, we're moving on to gaming news. First story. E3 2023 has been canceled. So, just as I was making my plans to go out to see E3 and Michael Pachter's party, in a massively late maneuver, the ESA and ReedPop decided to cancel E3. And when I say massively late, let's put it this way. Pachter had already paid a $25,000 deposit on non-refundable on the location of the party.
Oh.
Because this was a safe time to make a $25,000 deposit. No one cancels this close to an event. I have friends that have flights already that are out there that are, you know how flights are, like,
Yeah.
booked hotels, did all this. It's only because I was too busy booking all these other vacations of my bullshit that I hadn't booked my E3 stuff yet. But this is kind of a little fuck you to all the people that booked. And even though they say they'll be back next year, it makes you kind of question how.
They ain't coming back. There should be a class action lawsuit brought against them for canceling this late. Maybe these guys that all booked hotels and other rooms and flights and everything like that. Maybe they should get together and say, hey, you know what? We're going to, not that E3 probably has much money anyways.
No, like, the ESA is not, their coffers are not overflowing, especially not having had a show since 2019.
I don't even know if do they even have the money left to refund the deposits on the show floor people. I'm like, well,
yeah, because maybe the ESA has also made a deposit on the convention center.
Yeah.
So it could be like a trickle down of fuck yous where everybody spent the money, they've made non-refundable deposits, and now nobody can get them back. Yeah, so it doesn't trickle back up.
Yeah, because convention halls don't just say, okay, here's all your money back.
Yep.
You don't want to do a show? That's fine. We'll just give you. No, they have all this money. They ain't going to get it back.
Yep.
But I don't see E3 coming back from this. Any kind of conventions that you've seen that have canceled for one reason or other outside of the COVID protocols and stuff like that, I don't think that I've seen one show be able to come back, and I used to work in the industry, conventions and stuff like that. I used to work at a convention place and as the food and beverage operations and stuff like that. And once the show was done, they were done. They weren't coming back. Like, they had no money coming in, and they live show to show most of the time. They don't have a bankroll that's sitting around waiting to roll to the next year. So I just, unfortunately, I don't see E3 coming back. I mean,
I'd like to see it come back. Pactor would like to see it come back. And like, I miss that group of friends. Like, there's a certain group of friends that you see every day. Then there's a certain group of friends that you podcast with. Then there's a certain group of friends that you see at the PAX events. Like, those are not the same people that you see at there's a Venn diagram where there's some overlap. But when you go to E3, it's a different group of friends. And it was kind of this... it was a very special thing for a long time. So I really hope they can figure this out. But there's a lot of bad blood over this late cancellation. If they had made this cancellation back, like, if they knew this and they knew that they weren't getting, like, their excuse was that, like, they didn't have all the major players in and it was going to be a substandard conference. Well, if you didn't have these guys in January, you should have said something and you should have made the change. But you can't hope that you're going to get latecomers and lock things in when you're already selling stuff and people are trying to book flights and everything else. Like, some of these news outlets, like, look at a Kotaku. They usually send like 8 to 10 people. I guarantee you they already had their hotel. All those guys have flights, and sure, maybe they'll get some flight credit for canceling them, but it's just not the right thing to do to people.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's unfortunate. And, even now it's like, who's going to want to go back there with the, if I'm a small studio, I'm not going to sink, $10, $15, $20,000 into reserving a booth space of something that they fucked me the year before,
Yeah.
So, and you know what? This is, I think a lot of this is to be the blame on the big players, your Microsoft's, your Sony.
If they just Nintendo sucked up and went in, then everyone else would follow.
Yeah, they'd have a lot more, clout to say, hey, look, we got the big players there. They, you can showcase your stuff alongside them. And if the big players aren't there, it's like,
what's drawing people to the show? Yeah, exactly. So there was a point, I literally was going to fly out just for Pactor's party. So I was in all the way, but not so much.
On the flip side, I mean, we've been calling E3 dead, I mean, maybe
well,
not you,
not me,
not
no,
you,
no.
but Hit, myself, and Jan,
Every other host of the show,
every other host, and all the other shows out there. Everybody's been saying that E3 is dying or dead, and that they're really not even sure it could exist anymore. So I think, the writing's been on the wall for a while that this wasn't going to happen, or it was going to end at some point, and it might just be better to let this sail off into the sun and remember days gone by.
Yeah, but see, you don't want this to go the way, like, look at Comdex that used to be around. That was a huge fucking show. And now kids these days, no one's even heard of Comdex. Like, E3 in its heyday needs to be remembered. And the only way to make sure it's remembered is to bring it back and bring it back in all its glory. So I'm hoping it's back next year.
Just make a documentary of it. Nobody wants to see some of those old video footage from those old shows.
I love E3. It's literally still, I don't even know if this will show up. It's the lock screen on my phone is the E3 logo. It's been that way since my first E3. And I get different E3 logos for my lock screen, but that's how much I miss it. So
wow.
Yep.
Well, you and Patrick can go have a party. He's got $25,000 deposit down.
Well, no, but every time Patrick's out in Boston, I invite him for dinner, so we'll go from there. But all right, next less sad story.
All right, we'll go with Diablo 4 had the biggest beta in the series history. No surprise, the open beta. They had the closed beta a few weeks ago. Then they had the open beta the last weekend or so, a couple weekends ago. Phenomenal game. It really is. We talked about the game itself last week on the show.
Yep.
So there's really no reason to rehash all that. But the only thing that really came out of the story that I saw is they had 20 million installs.
That's insane.
Yeah, it puts it over the 20 million installs over last year's mobile Diablo. Immortal started with what? I'm
the mobile game Diablo Immortal. Yeah.
Okay.
So even more than a mobile game? That's crazy. Yeah.
But I mean it's great. That's a great base for hopefully what they can get people to buy the game and move into it. So a lot of players, 50 million deaths occurred in a couple days. That's a lot of death. That's a lot of bodies they piled up. So it looks like it's gonna it's not coming to Xbox Game Pass, but it's gonna retail for around $70, I think they said.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those games that starts at 70 and then the next edition is in the 80s, and then we pre-ordered the $99 edition. So
I enjoyed it. I'll probably wait until a discount on it before I pick it up.
If you're in for 70, you might as well be in for 90, right? That's the way I look at it. Like I've spent more than 90 and a lot less. So like any purchase I make after midnight. Yeah. But
I love their tweet from Diablo that just lists off some of the stats. There was 61.5 million hours played over the weekend that it was live. 2.6 million wolf packs.
Nice.
Total player deaths almost 47 million.
Yeah. No, the game was fantastic.
Total monsters killed 29.2 billion.
Yeah. No, they definitely did some stuff right with this one. They've really upped the game. I thought the last Diablo was fantastic, so I cannot wait for this to come out. So, and we don't pre-order a lot of shit. The only 2 pre-orders I've done in the last year or two, we've got this pre-ordered and we have Dead Island 2 pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Also the ultimate cool guy edition, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So
you're gonna get a bunch of miscellaneous things you can slap together as a weapon and
as exactly
your collectible.
Yeah, like a dildo, and then electricity added to it, and then putting on the end of a stick, and you're like, boom, 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 and it's like flopping in the wind, but electric. And oh yeah, you're picturing this in your mind right now, and you're like, that's fucked up, but because it is fucked up. But yes.
Congratulations, Blizzard and Diablo. Cheers.
Yes, absolutely. All right, next story. BAFTA winners include Game of the Year award for Vampire Survivors. So this is the British Film and Television Academy that also does video games now. And Vampire Survivors got Game of the fucking Year. Like, this is a game that Selden doesn't understand. He won't even try, even though it's free on Game Pass.
We talked about this. I played.
But you didn't understand it.
I got 7 of the worlds unlocked.
Yeah, but you need to play it nonstop. You need to try to finish all of the things, because that's what gets you to really level up and level up and level up. Like, there gets to be a point in games where at some point late game, I can just sit back and I can break out my drink and just move my left stick a little bit, and I just win at video games just by moving that left stick a little bit. And that's how you know you've leveled up Vampire Survivors.
I think I played one of the bonus levels the other day. Actually, it was like a forest kept encroaching on me.
Oh,
it was actually no monsters. It was just forest.
It's just forest.
I just walk through the forest. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
that's a weird level, but it's a fun, easy level.
It was so. It's a great mobile game transferred onto a console. It's nice. So
it ironically started on a console and then went to mobile. And the second DLC for that's coming out like this week or next. So I'm gonna pick that up too for the $1 or $2, whatever the first DLC was. Yeah, I really spent deep on a game that I love for $2, and I'll spend another $2. So, but yeah, it was a game of the year. And so that instantly erases all the shit all you guys gave me about this game.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, it's a good game, and I can see how it won Game of the Year. And so good for them.
Yeah, it's crazy that it did, but I agree with it as well. It's my most played game of the past year. Phalo did not keep me in, despite all its tries. So. All right, why don't we move on? Next story.
All right, we'll take this one. Marvel Avengers final content update makes all cosmetics free. Play dress up to the end of the world. I don't know how to take this. It's kind of like, yeah, this game's coming to its end of its cycle, and we had a good run. And hey,
did they have a good run though, Selden? Did they?
No, but they're like, you know what? We're just gonna, as a gift to you guys all, we're just gonna unlock everything for you, because we're just gonna spew IP all over you. And
on our way out the door, the liquor cabinet's unlocked. Yes.
On the other hand, it's like, the only people that are probably still playing this are the ones that dropped thousands of dollars already anyways on all the cosmetics and crap.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is it really a kick in the teeth, or is it a kick
in the dick? Yeah. I don't know how to look at this. I do know that I can tell you exactly why this failed, and it's because they did not pay for the voices and likenesses of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm just saying, you dispute it if you will, but I don't think you can. Show me an argument. The game failed like I said it would.
Yeah, I think it's superhero burnout, a lot of it too. So I think you're right. I think the voiceover is a big thing, but I think it's also superhero burnout. And having this game was just nothing but superhero type. I think the people are moving away from it, kind of like how people move away from zombies. They'll come back, cycle back around gaming.
Like, we're literally buying Dead Island 2, and you're like, people are moving away from zombies.
But a lot of the zombie games now.
Yeah.
So it's cyclical. It'll come back, I'm sure. But I think a lot of people are experiencing that burnout. But yeah, you're right. The voiceover, I think, was a big key that caused people to get away from this, because not everybody's a comic book geek like yourself and myself or Hit. And I'm not a comic book geek, but I was more of a Dungeons
you
and Dragons
instantly
kid.
Distanced yourself from it. You're like, I am the smartest guy in the world. I am not the smartest guy in the world, but
I'm more into it than the general public. But the general public, if they don't see and hear the superheroes that they watch on film and TV, they're not
they're
going to
not
do it.
real. Yes.
So
yeah.
you're not going to get that, that full buy-in from, the general Joe. So
Mm-hmm. You mean Joe Sixpack?
yeah, Joe Sixpack.
Yes. But yeah, it is a cool move on the way out to not fuck people and be like, all right, you got everything for free, we're out of here. So, but I told them on day one how they could have made this a promising franchise. Just saying.
I think you did, I recall.
I'm sure you do, because I said it many, many times, and I was scoffed at many, many times by Hit, but I win. All right, next story. CD Projekt Red introduces menstrual leave for employees. So I consider myself pretty fucking woke. I'm just saying, okay? This is one of the wokest things that a company has done, and bravo, CD Projekt Red. So this is something for their female employees. Sure, some people have no issues during their menstrual cycle and they can go to work and they can do whatever. But then we all know people that have like massive pain. They just need to lie in bed all day and all this other stuff. So this is to take away the stigma of going to work because you don't want to burn any PTO days, and you go there and you suck it up and you're not doing your best thing. And their plan that they've introduced for this is so wide open. They're like, it's not like if you need hours, take hours. If you need days, take days. You don't even need to explain it. This is such a pro-woman thing that I give them such kudos. This is unheard of in the industry, and
not just the industry, the entire working world. No,
I guess so. Yeah,
like there's not a lot of people that I think have that kind of a standard within their company that to have the guts to pull something like this and push this out, and not get the feedback from the male chauvinist assholes. So this goes to show that these guys have class, and I've said it time and time again. Like, I love these guys. I've met with them dozens of times at E3, and they're a class act company. They're always looking out for their employees, and they're always looking out for their fans. And this is just another, check mark off the belt to say that they understand how things are. And hopefully, for someone coming out and saying they're doing this becomes something that becomes more first industry wide, and then maybe just corporate wide, because the benefits of this are much better than whatever they're losing for having someone stay home for a day or two. So yeah. Kudos, CD Projekt Red. Yay.
All right, next story.
All right, cheaper Xbox expandable storage cards are on the way. It looks like Xbox's deal with who was it that had a Seagate is coming to an end, or has ended, because there is currently, I guess, at a Best Buy that has been spotted, a new Western Digital Xbox expandable storage card has been revealed. Looks like it's going to be cheaper. The 1 terabyte looks like it's going to retail for around $179.99. So that's about $50 to $70 cheaper, maybe, or
40,
something like that.
$40 to $50.
No, my math is really bad.
Yes,
$40 or $50 cheaper than the Seagate is, which is great because there's been no competition. This price hasn't fluctuated at all on Seagate's side.
No, so it hasn't. Maybe
this will be the opening of the door for some of the cheaper companies to come in with their 1 terabyte cards, or even half of that, the 512 gigabyte cards, to give us the ability to purchase these at a cheaper price, because really the $220 price point was pretty damn steep.
I feel like this is a step in the right direction, but it really hasn't opened up the monopoly that's there. Now it's a duopoly, because these things are still twice the cost of M2 storage on a PC or on the PlayStation that uses a standard. So
Right.
because Microsoft came up with this one-off like non-standard, which is basically just an M2 in a different connector package. And if you remember, we did a story like a year and a half, 2 years ago, where there was a company that was selling a adapter
Right.
that you could put in and then put M2 storage in. Um, it it's a step in the right direction, but it's really not super consumer friendly still. Like these things, they're doubling the cost of what this goes for in the open market for PC. So,
Right. But I mean, but it's still the proprietary. I mean, it's that fast swap storage memory or whatever they
yep,
have going
yep,
on there.
yep.
So I'm like, it does have something more than just your standard. You couldn't pick up a 1 terabyte, you know, SSD and have the same effect. So
No,
there
you
is
can
some
pick up that 1 TB
proprietary.
M2 and put it in that adapter, and that adapter does the fast storage thing.
Yeah.
Like it's the gig is up.
Well, hopefully it is. Hopefully it's not just a duopoly. Hopefully it's open to other storage agencies to come in and companies to make something. So, but it's a chip. You know, it's you know it's a chink in the armor. So hopefully we'll see some movement on it. So
Agreed. Yeah, it's been so non-consumer friendly that we can definitely use this.
agreed.
All right. Next up, U.S. Congress calls for intervention on PlayStation's monopoly on Japan. So this is
Oops.
this is what I would call fallout from PlayStation being super raging fuckholes about the Activision Blizzard acquisition. So then when Congress started looking at this to see if it really was a monopoly and all this other shit, they're like, hey, PlayStation's got every Japanese fucking franchise and company in their back pocket. Like, this is not competition. And maybe this is something we should look into. So by Sony being raging cunts, they basically caused the US like government interrogators to be like, wait a second. What they're saying we're doing is the same thing they've been doing for years and years. And this is good comeuppance for Sony.
Yeah, I don't know if I give the U.S. Congress that much credit that they found this out and they decide. I have a feeling that
Microsoft told them this.
Well, it's you know that the there was a movement behind the scenes that the PlayStation had lobbyists that were hitting Congress and everybody up to block get the FTC to block the Microsoft merger. So I'm sure that Microsoft finally said, you know what, let's get our fucking lobbyists to start pushing
that's
congressmen around,
too, yeah.
and we'll feed them the data that they can make the announcement that they're going to start looking at this. So it's PlayStation has possibly F themselves in this situation because
I would say so. Yeah.
When they shine the lights on somebody else, you better make sure that you're ready with the lights to be shined back on you, type thing.
Yep. No, I'm excited to see how this plays out because there are so many franchises that have been Sony exclusives since consoles that this is going to be a playing field leveler. So, yeah. Fuck Sony. I do still love Sony. I have the PSVR 2. I have stuff, but I feel like the whole leaning on Activision Blizzard Microsoft thing, it was bullshit, and now they're going to get their comeuppance. So
we can only hope so.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, next story.
All right, we'll jump over to Netflix is testing TV games that can use phones as controllers. Now, it looks like developer Steve Mosier has found hidden code referencing games on TV in the Netflix app. Netflix has had their venture into the gaming platform on the phone for a while now. It's not got a lot of traction. It doesn't have a lot of play. Even last week I tried downloading one of their elite titles that they have.
Oh, nice.
On the phone and tried it out, and it's just, I didn't talk about it as the games I played because I only played it for like 10 minutes before I got sick of it. It was really bad. It's just, it is what it is, but they have a platform to encourage streaming of games and stuff like that. I just don't know if their approach is right for it.
Nope.
I don't think people are going to Netflix to play games. I just, I don't know.
No.
It's weird.
It feels like they're trying to backdoor their way into games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there's going to be some kind of latency with, if you're using the phone as your controller, just the same problem that that other Stadia thing had.
Yeah. Oh, like you had to remember what Stadia was called. You feigned ignorance and like, oh, what was that thing I almost blew my entire life on? Oh, Stadia. Oh, yes.
But like Stadia they had two Wi-Fi streams going. They had the Wi-Fi, or they had two different streams. Your game was being streamed through one channel, and your controller was being streamed through another channel, both going through your router at the same time. This is kind of what Netflix is going to be doing. It's not a direct.
No,
your phone is not going to be controlling the actual gameplay. It's going to have to send a signal off to the
Netflix somewhere else, and then send it back. And
so it's like you're definitely not going to get the level of what you're seeing on other game systems.
This isn't like using your phone on Jackbox. Like Jackbox is one thing, like a real-time game, entirely different. So
good luck, Netflix. If you're trying this out, I just don't know if it's the right time for you to be doing this.
Fair enough. All right, last story. So when the PlayStation 5 came out, there was a launch title. Nobody bought it. It's probably phenomenal, but it was wrong price, wrong time against all kinds of good stuff. But the PS5 launch title Sackboy, which is a spiritual follow-up to what the fuck is it called?
Sackboy?
No. There were two of the games with the Sackboy involved.
Right.
But yeah, that's free this month on PlayStation Plus. So if you have PlayStation, you have PlayStation Plus, go download Sackboy and finally get your money's worth and enjoy it. But yeah, I already started this downloading earlier today.
For some reason, I thought this was free before. I didn't think this was the first time it was free, but it makes the way they're talking about it's free for the first time ever. So
yes, no, this is the first time it's free. So, and you don't have a PlayStation, right, Selden?
No.
Is
this? Now this is Little Big Planet. Is that what they're?
Oh, Little Big Planet. That's what it is. Little Big Planet 1, Little Big Planet 2, and then Sackboy is the spiritual successor to those. So
the internet is telling me that in the Sackboy series or Sackboy games, there's 6 games in the series.
Oh, there were a couple of one-offs like back in the PS1, the PS3 and PS4 days, but yes. But this was supposed to be like the holy grail of Little Big Planet ones, but the console came with a good game, and then there were like such good launch titles. Who would buy Sackboy?
I thought it was popular at the time, but yeah. Either way, it's been a long time since the launch, so
yeah.
Way to make a single A game free finally.
I would say this is like double or triple.
Okay,
like they're really that kind of developer. So. All right. Well, if any of you have news stories you want to talk about, drop in the chat or give us a call, 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@toolplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors! If we had them, we'd pimp them, but we don't, so we won't. Same thing, 773-527-2961, podcast@toolplay.com, and let's negotiate. Let's make a deal. You never know where it's going to go. You could be in the next Tesla, but you won't get there without going through us. Just saying. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related, twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related is at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/Tool to Play. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool2play. That is where we broadcast live every week, as well as our entire DVR library of on-demand content sits on youtube.com/tool2play. So that costs you nothing. Go there, subscribe, follow us on there, and you will literally have access to all of our pre-recorded video content. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. If you get a couple extra seconds, write a little nice review. D Smooth, handsome hair. Selden, handsome no hair. Whatever it is, whatever you're into, we got all your kinks. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. One of the many places we broadcast live each and every weekend, and all of our Still Got Game archive content is there and available as well. We have a Discord channel. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. You can jump on our Discord, join up, and chat with each and every host all day long. Yont and Tiff sometimes, me more so. Selden, I'm pretty sure he doesn't ever shut Discord. He's there for you all the time. So definitely join the Discord and join the conversation. And Selden would be happy you did.
Absolutely. And if you're going to be a potential host, it's always good to be on there also.
Selden saying that's brownie points.
Maybe carry some of the conversation. Start the conversation.
Yep. See, that's how you get to be the host. All right. On that, why don't we pop on over into per person stuff? Selden, what do you got to pimp this week?
Well, the holidays are coming. Passover, Easter. I'm sure there's a couple other holidays in there that I'm missing, but just think about giving back to the community if you have the ability to, and treat your fellow man or woman to something nice over the holidays. That's all I got today.
You walked all the religious boundaries and did it well, Selden. For my stuff, I'm still going to go with the Girl Scouts. They can never have too much, and we're not going to talk any more about the Girl Scouts. But buy some Girl Scout cookies. And as far as my stuff, if you go to Linktree/Derek Nolan, that's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. You get all my socials, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, my OnlyFans, my YouTube, my Twitch, whatever. And you will also get all the shit I talk about in the show. Tool to Play's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. So Linktree/Derek Nolan. And before we wrap up, we're going to remind you all, you can join us each and every Monday night live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/tool2play, facebook.com/tool2play, and twitch.tv/still_got_game. And on that, why don't we wrap this just me and Selden episode up? I'm Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Chris Selden 007 Selden.
Selden stepped it up. He's got a new voice. Also, E3.